All right, folks, we are live here from Firestein Field, kicking off the Classic 8 conference season here tonight with the Muskego Warriors in the town for the first time. It might be ever, but certainly in a long time. The Pirates obviously new to this conference, just a 2-year trip. It'll end up being in the Classic 8. Visited Muskego last year, so welcoming the Muskego Warriors to town for the first time in a good long time. I'm Kurt Spitzner, joined tonight again by my friend and colleague, Mr. Brock Rumer. Brock, how are we doing tonight?
Doing great, Kurt. Excited to be here again and watching this matchup this evening with the crisp air has rolled in, and it's, once again, football season is in full force.
Football season, school started this week, and it's funny. There's a little bit of that fall nip in the air. It feels like football season, and certainly will feel like football season when you got a team like Muskego coming to town. Pirates coming off an impressive victory against Greendale last week. Shutout victory, 17-0. And the team in Muskego, 1-1 coming in, had a very hard-fought loss week 1, 14-13 against Neenah, a very good Neenah team. And then next week just took it out on Oak Creek. They're coming off of a big win against their old SEC rival, the Oak Creek Knights, 41-17. So Muskego looks like they found their way. Our Pirates have been pretty impressive in 2 victories for a team that we had a lot of question marks about, a very young team, especially defensively. But we've seen them show up and get those 2 non-conference wins to start the season. Tonight starts, we talked about it last week, Muskego tonight at Arrowhead next week. You talk about the who's who in high school football in the state of Wisconsin these last few years, and Muskego and Arrowhead are not too far down the list. This Muskego team coming off of a runner-up in Division I last year, runner-up for that state championship, and a team that expects to compete deep into the Division I playoffs. What's the mindset of this Pirate team have to be coming in? Probably most people would call them an underdog in a game like this against a perennial power like Muskego. Coach Rumor, what's the mindset have to be for this Pirate team to hang with these Warriors and get out a victory here at home tonight?
Sure. Well, I would say last season when these 2 teams met, I recall Pewaukee was ahead at halftime. And the reason, in my opinion, they were ahead at halftime is because they were playing aggressively. They weren't sitting back. They were playing aggressively. The defense was performing against an excellent offense in Muskego. But the biggest thing that stood out to me, and I think is probably the biggest key again tonight, is limiting mistakes and limiting errors. And, last week we saw a couple of those, shook them off, maybe some false starts, a few penalties. The Pirates need to come out tonight as close to error-free as they can. And if they do that, and the defense is once again as stout as it was last week, I think we have a really good shot this evening against an excellent Muskego team.
Yeah, thinking back to last week, the penalties really stacked up on the Pirates, especially in the first half. Cleaned it up a little bit in the second half, and that made for the preservation of that shutout victory. The other thing I was impressed with last week, and we talked about it coming out of week 1, and I don't think that there's any coincidence here. They were able to throw the ball enough, and that opened up some running lanes for Omar and for Carson and for Benji to get some things done. Brooks Doberstein, sophomore quarterback, 8 out of 10, 92 yards, no interceptions in there, made some really good decisions and some timely throws. And that was enough to open up that running game. And Omar Charrington with his first 100-yard game of the year, 21 carries, a workhorse effort, if you will. But really, they were able to get the job done through the air a little bit last week, and that gave way to opening some running lanes, Brock.
Yeah, absolutely, Kurt, and I think that you hit it right on the head from the offensive side of the ball. The Pirates do have weapons, and, behind this offensive line, when they are in rhythm and they have momentum and they're executing, and they did a fair amount of that last week, they are opening those lanes. They're opening the holes, which then again sets it up for the pass. And I agree, Doberstein made some really nice decisions for a young quarterback last week. And it's exciting to see that kind of develop and move forward throughout the season as well. And so establishing that, I think, early on, the two-headed monster. I'd also say the platooning last week at the quarterback position that we saw from our opponent last week, that put us on the map in terms of making some decisions as well. And so that was a good experience for our defense, one that you don't always see. And so, you stack that as another experience coming in tonight. So that's a positive.
Yeah, the state's starting to take notice. The WFCA Wisconsin coaches poll, Pirates up another notch this week, up to number 3 in the Division III poll, behind 2 perennial powerhouses, Catholic Memorial and Grafton. But this is a team that expects to compete week in and week out. And as much as we're going against bigger teams, it's been all over the media, the discussion of do they belong in the Classic 8. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Probably starts with 2 guys you're looking at on the screen right here. Jack Tabert, the outstanding junior guard, and senior Tucker Thieneman. These guys don't think of it as we're playing against Big Bad Muskego. They're out here to play football, and they believe they can compete against anybody, and that's what they're here to do tonight. And I think, these next 2 weeks assuredly will be a test against 2 of the best. But I'm looking for our Pirates to maybe make a statement here at home. This is a big night for these guys.
I agree, Kurt, and I think that you hit it on the head. The senior leadership, we talk about it every time we get together, and it's important and it's critical in not only in the game this evening, but in the week leading up to this, because those younger guys they're gonna feed off of how the seniors are approaching this. And you hit it right on the head. This is no different. This is a game. We're coming in. We're going to do our thing. We're going to play our game, and we're going to come right at them. And I think that those seniors, I'm very assured, have done a good job of that, getting ready for this week.
Yeah, no doubt. So flip the script. We'll talk a little bit about Muskego. I mentioned that big win over Oak Creek last week. They're led by a senior in the backfield, Jackson Nemec. He's just been outstanding. 21 carries, 197 yards on the ground. That's 9.4 yards a clip, Brock. So Jackson is getting whatever he wants on the ground, 2 touchdowns for the senior. But that's not all. They've got 2 other 100-yard rushers just through these 2 games. Dayton Lorino, another senior, 105 yards on the ground, 4.4 yards a carry. And Aiden Perlberg, a junior, 102 yards on the ground at a 6.4 clip. They're going to run the football here at Muskego and dare the Pirates to stop them. Yep. What do our Pirates need to do against this prolific rushing attack? And these are against good teams in Oak Creek and in Neenah. What do our Pirates need to do to maybe put a little bit of pressure on quarterback Joey Shaw to open it up through the air with such a prolific rushing attack?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they need to be disciplined. I think that's the key word. The defense needs to be disciplined. And there's no doubt, as they were preparing for this week, that the defense knows very well the misdirection that Muskego runs on their offense. And they're one of the best around in terms of faking, motion, ball movement. It's very difficult to track that. Even if you're not on the field, it's sometimes difficult to track that. So the key to this is discipline. So from the linebacking core, those guys are going to have a job to do. They're going to be keying on certain things, and they need to trust the teaching of their coaches and do that. Now, what can happen in a game like this as well from the defensive standpoint is if we're able to shut down the interior offense and our front line is able to shut things down, they're going to go to the outside. And so they're going to try to pick apart our defensive end. They're going to try to get around to the corners. And so our containment on the defense also needs to be there. So it's a tall order against a great team, but I think discipline is the word on defense tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And quarterback Joey Shaw, another veteran, junior, played in that state championship game. No slouch through the air either, but also a guy who can run the ball a little bit himself. So it's a very refined, well-coached operation at Muskego. Our Pirates are going to have to be on their best game tonight to come out with a W here. Speaking of our best game, after hopefully our best game, our friends at Stenny's Lake Country have sponsored tonight's Pirate Fiesta. Thank you to our friends at Stenny's. I'm told that we're running on a whole bunch of TVs over there at Stenny's tonight.
All right.
This
Hello,
is the
Stenny's.
big game in town, and they know that Friday night football in Pewaukee means if you're not out here at Firestein Field, you should probably be down there at Stenny's taking in the game. Get yourself a fish fry, burger. They do a lot of things right over there at Stenny's, and we'd like to thank them for their sponsorship of the Friday Night Fiesta, which is the meal that our boys will have in there in the cafeteria after hopefully a hard-fought victory. Thanks again to our friends at Stenny's. You ever get that Stenny's, Brock?
Oh, yeah. I got that Stenny's. It's a great place. Great burgers. Great burgers. If you're out there, I recommend it highly.
Good stuff. About a minute and a half away from our national anthem here. We will, have a good one here tonight. The crowd is filing in. It looks like it's USA night, Brock. A lot of all-American outfits down there in the Pewaukee student section. Muskego, of course, has traveled pretty well. I know it's kind of cut off on that screen at home, but there is a pretty jam-packed visiting section over there for the Warriors making that trip, a little bit of a jaunt out there. But if you're out there watching as a Warrior friend, welcome aboard. I'm glad you're tuning in. If you chose to watch on YouTube, we're happy to have you. And to all of our Pirate fans, if you see something out there interesting or just want to talk to Brock and I, drop it in the chat. We should have the chat going out there on YouTube tonight. I always like hearing from some of our alumni here.
Yeah, great student section out here tonight, Kurt.
It's really been good all year long. I've been really impressed. You get those couple games before the school year starts. You never know, but a couple of home games here in Pewaukee for a change, it seems like, to start the season, and we've had a really, really good turnout. We got as we're saying that, there's a huge crop of youth players sporting their Pewaukee Pirate Youth Program jerseys out here to support the Varsity Pirates. There's something special about being in a small, tight-knit community where these kids have grown up, as you know, Brock, practicing on this field, playing on this field, going to school on the other side of the parking lot. Yep. So it always makes me smile to see these youngsters out here, to look up to the guys that they're cheering for, that they will, someday become.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see everybody come out. We obviously have the high school students in full force. Loving the garb here this evening. Great theme. I'm sure they're going to get rowdy. And, yeah, all these youth players coming out. It says a lot about the program to have that kind of turnout every Friday night. And it is. It's really exciting to see those young guys come out here. And you know that they're looking at that field and they're looking at the varsity players, and, they're envisioning their future. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, and it's just, it's been a fun atmosphere. Obviously, when you win, it's a fun atmosphere. You see the Pirates over in the student section at the end of the game celebrating. But even, coming into a game like this, which you expect to be really competitive against a really good team, to see your fans out there to support you means a whole heck of a lot. And I think they're ready to make their way out. Pirates set to blast through the land of the free, home of the Pirates, I think, is what we're looking at there in the spirit of the USA anthem. And here they come, led by senior captain Samaji Petzold, a guy we talked about a lot last week. If they're going to do it through the passing attack, he's going to be one of those guys that they got to find ways to get Samaji the ball again. But here they are out at midfield, excited to play this big one against Muskego.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pewaukee High School.
Cheerleaders making their way over, flying the Jolly Roger. This should be fun, Brock. This should be a fun one, and I believe that the Pirates won the toss and elected to defer to the second half, is what I heard, if I'm correct. So Muskego will get first crack at it out here momentarily. That's going to be a test right out of the gate, choosing to test your defense against this prolific Muskego offense. That'll be what we're looking at here to start this thing, and we'll see what our defense looks like right away in a moment.
Outstanding.
We're going to give it to our in-house announcer, Craig Copleen.
Now,
and our
to
national
honor
anthem. And Brock and I will
America,
be right
please
back.
rise for the playing of our national anthem, performed tonight by the Pewaukee High School Band.
All right, Brock. It's time for some football.
Pewaukee High School,
Let's do it.
Muskego High School, and the WIAA remind you that
Friday night,
admission to this event is a
Pewaukee,
privilege.
Muskego. The air is just right. The band is here. It's time to get down to business here.
Yeah, let's do this. You know, another thing to just touch on that we didn't touch on in the opener, it's been a big part of these first couple weeks of winning, and that's special teams. For 2 straight weeks, we had a Brady return a punt for a touchdown. I was told that Coach Frisky was nominating there. We have Brady Vetterkind, so we have one more Brady out there. He said, you know what, we got to get Brady Vetterkind his punt block touchdown at some point here too. But all that aside, special teams has come up with some huge moments in these first 2, and you know, the kicking game, Tristan Schlender, the new kicker's been really accurate. Those 2 punt blocks, a timely 2-point conversion. It goes without saying again, I think I said it last week, but the special teams has been a big part of these first 2 victories.
No doubt, no doubt. And you look to have a similar impact tonight. And, you know, you've seen on the Pirate side, the special teams are very aggressive. You know, they're aggressively coming at their opponent, which, you know, you're seeing some of the results of that. So love to see that have a role this evening as well.
Yeah, just some awesome athletes out there. You got Hudson Stanek, number 30. He came up with a huge punt recovery early in the season. He's a animal, just a sophomore. Brady Staver, Brady Sandvik, who we talked about. Ethan Monfelli, starting corner out there. And that kick will go short, picked up and returned out to the 45-yard line. Colton Wall on the tackle. That was Ben Krell, senior from Muskego, brought it out. So the Warriors will have first crack at it here. 1st and 10 from, looks like the ball will be spotted just outside the Muskego 37-yard line for Joey Shaw and the Warrior attack. Pirates with a 5-man front here, expecting, you know, some run. And that first one's going to be blown dead. A little bit of motion pre-snap, and the Warriors are moving back 5 yards. That's going to be a full start. So they'll start behind the chains, Brock.
Okay, there we go. Well, again, Kurt, you know, the one of the keys here defensively, we talked a bit about it, but it's going to be those guys up front. And if they can hold that defensive position and maybe get some penetration, we'll have a good stop at shop in that run tonight.
A little bit of movement up front on that one. Got Shaw taking his time there, snaps it. Handoff goes outside. Dayton Larino's got the outside, and he has got some room and into Pirate territory. He will have a Warrior first down all the way down to the Pirate 37. Sandvik took him down, but not until after a big gain. It'll be 1st and 10 Warriors from the Pirate 37, and they hurry it to the line here with Shaw in the shotgun. Yeah, I'm sorry. He's under center. Handoff will go back to Lorino. That one is bottled up quickly. And the ball is out. The ball is out. And it's going to be no whistle on the field. Big Cade Rykowski came out of there with it. And they're going to whistle that thing dead after a gain of 2. So I would have to look back at that. But that was looking pretty exciting there for a second. But it'll be exciting. Whistled dead. It'll be 2nd and 9. Looking at the replay, runner never went down, but they must have blown it dead. Forward progress.
All right. The big man had stars in his eyes on that one for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, in any case, 2nd and 9 here from the 36. All kinds of motion up front again. That's Lorino deep for the Warriors. And Shaw's going to go back to the ground to Lorino. He's bottled up there. Jackson Finn in on the tackle. Jackson, a sophomore that's helping load up the box in that kind of nose tackle position tonight. Jackson's a kid I've had the pleasure to watch growing up, and he's going to be a real impact player, Brock, over the course of the next few seasons, and getting a shot at doing it right in the thick of it tonight at that nose tackle position.
Trial by fire, right in the center there. That's great.
All right, 3rd and 6 here for Shaw and the Warriors. We'll see what they've got in store for this 3rd down play. They're going to keep it on the ground, and that got to the outside, and that man has hit some room. That's Nemec, and his first carry takes it all the way down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. So a little bit of a dose of Lorino, and then Nemec, you see the speed he has, and just one of the best running backs in the state of Wisconsin. He showed it on that run, Brock.
Absolutely. Well, and they're executing there around the outside there on that particular play.
All right, 1st and 10 here, ball outside the 7-yard line. 1st and goal, rather, for the Warriors. They'll keep it on the ground. This is Lorino, and he's got a couple of hard yards before he is brought down. Jackson Finn there at the bottom of the pile. And they'll bring up 2nd and goal.
So far, Kurt, the defensive line in the interior doing a good job of kind of plugging up those holes, not giving up a lot of real estate there. So they're doing a great job there. We just need to help contain on the outside then when they're plugging that up.
Junior Bobby Edwards in there at defensive tackle alongside Finn. Muskego shifts the formation to the right a bit. Lorino deep behind Shaw. And they'll give the handoff to the outside. This is number 11, Aiden Perlberg, and he is in for the touchdown. So that misdirection, the Pirates expected Lorino again, and they brought Perlberg to the outside, and Perlberg is in for the first points of the night. And I'll make it 6-0 here, Warriors, with the point after to follow. Kick is up and is true. And I'll give Muskego a 7-0 lead on the leg of senior kicker Jack Schutte. Punched it through for the Warriors. All right, Brock. Well, that rushing attack we talked about at the outset was every bit what we thought it would be. Yep. And coming from different guys, it was a lot of Lorino. The huge run by Nemec, and then finished off by Aiden Perlberg. So they've got a few guys they trust with the ball.
They do. And, that's what we talked about, and that's what you can expect from a Muskego football team. Again, they're excellent at executing the misdirection, the backfield motion. And what you can see from time to time is their quarterback, after faking once or twice, will actually hold the ball and crouch down and wait for another man to come around. And what that does, from our vantage point, we can see that clearly. But on the defensive side of the ball, it's very difficult to see that quarterback. And again, from a defensive standpoint, it's so critical when you're playing an opponent like this to be disciplined and know your role and stay with that man. Sometimes that means staying home when every instinct is telling you to go. And hey, some good plugging on the interior line, and we'll just build on that in our next go around on defense.
Shooty set to kick it off. A couple of sophomores deep. That's Colton Wall and Benji Weiss deep for the Pirates, and we'll see what the Pirates can do with their first crack on the offensive side of the ball. Shooty puts a good leg into it. Wall fields it at the 2-yard line, and he's got a little bit of room to return it. Colton's out to the 20, 25, and out to the 27-yard line. So nice return off of a very nice kick by Shooty. He can't place it better than that. Had no choice but to return it, and Colton got it out to the 27-yard line where the Pirates will have their first shot at it.
Well, and physicality is going to be extremely important in this game, Kurt. That goes without saying, but Muskego is a very physical football team, and what you're also looking for in these first few series is, are the Pirates coming out and trying to match that physicality? And on their return, you saw some good things happening there. So on the offensive side of the ball, we need our big physical offensive line to execute, get some push, and just start hammering away at some of those yards.
It's like a 3-man front here for Muskego. Going to rely a lot on that linebacking core. First handoff will go Omar Charrington. He's got room up the middle, and Omar's got a nice gain out to about 6 yards, we'll call it. Hey, how about a shout-out to our guy, senior guard Logan Trechik. He was owning this guy about 10 yards down.
I did see that.
Downfield. Logan, one of the senior leaders on this team, a real nice block. He came out of the chute with something to prove on that first one. And
right in time with the physicality conversation. That's what I'm talking about right there.
All right, so 2nd and 4 off of the nice run. Going to bring Colton Wall in, but Coach Frisky with a little bit of some confusion. He's going to blow a timeout, take the Pirates' first timeout to make sure we have things under control here and not get too far ahead of ourselves with things. So a timeout here, Pirates, and they'll have another crack at it 2nd and 4.
Absolutely. So Kurt, how about you? What's your theory in terms, what do you say to the Pirates at the start of this game, having seen this team from the very start of the season all the way through? How do you message preparing for this Muskego team?
Yeah, I think, this team has shown some personality in the first couple weeks that is no surprise to anybody that's been around the program. We're going to run the football, and we're going to try to play some defense. And to try to get away from that because you're playing against an opponent who's decorated as Muskego would be the wrong thing to do. This is a good football team. This is a good Pewaukee football team. This is a really good Muskego football team. But my message would be you. Do your thing. And I think that's what we saw on first down. Hopefully it bodes down here as they get a second crack at it. They'll rotate back. Benji Weiss in the shotgun here. He's got Charrington flanking him. It'll go back on the ground to Charrington. And Charrington's got a couple more, and that will leave third, and it looks like 2. No, they're going to say that was good for a first down. They gave Omar the lean forward, and then it'll be first down Pirates.
Good. So what you saw there, too, from our offensive line, there's some sustaining of blocks there. And, against a really aggressive physical team like Muskego, that line is going to have to sustain those blocks, have to carry them out.
All right. 1st and 10 here. Handoff back to the ground. Omar Charrington. Those linebackers were up quick on that one. Not a lot of room there for Omar. Maybe a gain of the yard.
Ben Geisler with the tackle.
Was a nice play.
It's 2nd down.
I think Caleb Hine in there on the tackle. And flanked by that linebacking core back there. One guy to keep an eye on that really has been a difference maker for Muskego in the early going. They've got a nice defense too, but you got a linebacking core out there that is going to find their way to the runners. Weiss will try the outside, and that is complete to Duranko, but there is a flag on the play, and I think they may get
the pass complete.
They may get
Benji Weiss,
Liam Rhodes
3,
out there, the
Brandon
other
Duranko.
receiver, trying to free him up, and with a hold it appears. So this one is going to be coming back.
Holding.
We got the mic'd up referees tonight, Brock, so we don't have to do any guesswork on the penalties. It was, in fact, a hold on the outside that'll wipe away that nice gain on second down. It will remain second down, but it will now be a 2nd and 19 from the Pirates' own 28-yard line. I'll go back to Doberstein again. If you haven't watched the Pirates, you've seen a lot of platoon this year between the two sophomore QBs, Brooks Doberstein and Benji Weiss. Brooks had a nice week last week. I mentioned at the outset, 8 of 10 through the air, some great decision-making. And Benji with the 57-yard touchdown. And this one is, oh boy, this one is blown up and a flag on the play. Those linebackers got in there in a jiffy. We'll see what the flag is.
Bennett Stroman.
But
made the tackle.
I think that's going to be motioning a pre-snap foul. It's going to be declined. Illegal formation.
Illegal formation. 5 in the backfield.
He'll bring up third.
The penalty is declined. Result of the play is third down.
Well, Pirates here, unfortunately, got a hole to dig out. You just wonder if, Coach Frisky here not going to get too dangerous on 3rd and 19, Brock, with the score 7-0 already.
Yeah. I think, you're looking to play your game here and kind of settle down and, eliminate those mental mistakes and, run your game.
All right, Weiss in the shotgun, and he'll keep it to the outside. A little bit of space there for Benji, but certainly not enough to move the chains. Just a couple there, and it'll be 4th and 17 after a short pickup for Benji. And the punting unit will come out.
Fans were setting up for a big 50-50.
Benji handles the punting duties as well, so he's back to punt. And, another call out early in the season. He's done a nice job on getting punts off with good hang time. That one, a little bit of pressure, but Benji gets it away, and that will take a nice Pirate roll. Picked up back there by Nemec, and Nemec has gotten loose. He's up the sideline before he is knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
Jackson Nemec on the return.
Yeah, Nemec, shifty runner, quick, also physical. He's one to definitely keep an eye on this evening. So, first offensive series, some mistakes certainly, but also looking for some positives for some of those younger guys. Just having that first series under their belt can build some confidence and loosen things up a little bit.
Colton Wall knocked him out of bounds, but it'll be 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Second crack at it for Shaw and the Warriors. Taylor showing blitz, a lot of movement up front. But that run goes to the outside, and that's Nemec, and he's got, looks like about 8 yards on first down before he skirts out of bounds, just shy of midfield. It'll be 2nd and 2 here for the Warriors.
2nd down.
Tons of weapons out there, and on that one, loaded up a little bit on the inside run and Nemec to the outside. It's been the outside runs that have hurt the Pirates so far in the early going, Brock.
It is.
Man in motion back to the outside coming towards us. Pirates doing a good job of initially stringing it out. Initial pickup is a first down for Perlberg, but there is a flag on the play, and that looks like that may be coming back. Indication is a hold on Muskego. They're definitely backing up, but we'll take a look at it a little closer.
Holding, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of a foul.
Good job by the Pirate defense on that one, stringing that outside run out, and it took the hold to free him up the sideline. It was the first time tonight that the Pirate defense was able to kind of bottle up the outside run.
Good job on that one.
2nd and 10.
Shaw will go back on the ground. That's Nemec, and Nemec has some space, and Nemec has the 30, the 20, Rhodes gives chase and is almost out to catch him, but Nemec is in for the score. All the way down for Jackson Nemec. The Warriors will take a 13-0 lead, and he has some jets, Brock.
He's a fast young man, but he's also, what you can see in that a run like that, he's patient. And so, yeah, he's kind of weaving through the defense, and when the time is right, he turns on the jets. So it's a good run for him.
Yeah, that breakaway speed. Liam Rhodes, a pretty fast kid, and almost caught him, but to not get caught by a kid like Liam shows you everything you need to know about Nemec. So
Yeah.
13-0 at the point after here from Schutte to follow. Hold this down and kick is up, and that one was good from 50. He put a leg into that extra
The
point.
point by Jack Schutte is good.
All right, Brock, 14-0. We got some work to do here in Pewaukee. This vaunted Muskego rushing attack has shown up to play. Nemec follows the Perlberg touchdown on the first drive of the game with I believe a 60, almost 60-yard run there after the penalty put him behind the chains. So they made quick work of that.
Sure did. Here we have an opportunity. We're getting the ball back, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing the Pirates putting the ball in the air a little bit and try to get the ball to Petzel and some of our other receivers out there. So you'd always want a balance of that run and pass. If the run is not there against Muskego, then we need to put the ball in the air. You saw in that first series a couple of attempts to do that. Wouldn't be surprised if that played a little bit larger role in this next series here, Kurt.
Flashed it up there. I know our Pirate fans are out there cheering hard out at Stenny's. Thank you again for your sponsorship of the post-game meal and tonight's Friday night fiesta. We appreciate you, and hi to everybody out there at Stenny's watching.
Weiss and Wall deep to return.
Schute's kick, another good one, almost the exact same place. Wall takes it from the 2-yard line, and he's out to the 20. He's got the 25 and out to the 27. That was a mirror image of the first kick return Cole had, I think. Landed about the same place, and he made it out to the 27. Another nice return for the Pirates to start 1st and 10.
Yeah.
It's first down, Pewaukee.
All right, Brock, 14-0. And we've been in two pretty tight games. Last week ended up 17-0, but that was nip and tuck for most of the game. Pirates have been in two pretty tight games. This has got to feel like this is opening up a little bit early, 14-0. Some good moments on that first drive.
Sure.
However, moving backwards, I think, what we got to do is avoid the penalties and the mistakes and see if we can string together a couple first downs here.
Agreed. Eliminate mistakes and just get a little momentum down the field.
Doberstein in the shotgun. He flips it to Liam Rhodes, and that fumble is loose, and they are calling it a forward shovel pass. Muskego did fall on it, but that is part of the design of that play, Brock, is that rather than, pitch it backwards, you're throwing it forwards, and that makes that scenario slightly as good as Muskego. You're not beating yourself.
That's right. Yep. You have to come into a game like this really eliminating those as much as possible and give yourself a chance.
All right, this one will stay on the ground at Charrington. A little bit of room on the outside, but quickly stacked up by a whole fleet of Warriors there. It was Xavier Witkowski coming up out of
and Xavier Witkowski made the tackle.
Out of the linebacking spot to make the tackle. So it's going to be 3rd and 13, another long third down here for the Pirates.
Yeah, and as you would expect, Kurt, Muskego's linebacking core, you mentioned them earlier, they're good. They're skilled, they're fast, and they're very aggressive, and they're well coached.
All right, and again, Coach Frisky's going to call a timeout. So a lot of substitutions, flitting back and forth, and something just didn't get set there. And Coach saw something he didn't like, and we'll use his second timeout here. Pirates look a little bit jittery, Brock, with some of the penalties, and it's understandable. You fall behind quickly to an opponent like Muskego. There's going to be some jitters, but this is where they've proven on a couple of these positive plays they can move the ball against this team. They just need to buckle down and keep it clean and not play behind the chains.
Yeah, they can move the ball, and again, fundamentally, keeping every guy on that team focused on doing their job. And this is a very skilled opponent. We know that. There's a lot of kind of hyperbole or hype around Muskego. They're a good quality football team, but you can't let that affect your moment to moment conduct on the field. And again, we come back to the senior leadership. Certainly, Coach Frisky has some things to say to them out there. But when you're in that huddle, it's the seniors that need to calm down the younger guys and refocus and kind of command the team and say, hey, we can do this, but we got to calm down and play our game.
Wall and Duranko wide to the bottom of your screen. John Gertis in motion. Doberstein's going to air it out here. Little bit of room. He's got it downfield and just flings that one out of bounds. It'll be fourth down, and the Pirate punting unit will come back out. Some pretty quick pressure there on Brooks. He didn't really get a chance for that play to develop as much as he would have liked.
No, not much time back there, but I think you'll see probably the Pirates trying to put the ball in the air a little bit more. Muskego has a very stout defensive line and our linebacking core we discussed. So putting the ball up in the air may be a good choice.
All right. Weiss's punt is away. That is Nemec there to return it. Tackled quickly. Brady Staver was back there first, and then Duranko put that to a rest and kept that from becoming a bigger return. But good field position again for the Warriors. They'll start almost at midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Muskego 48.
Absolutely.
The pace, you can tell that there's a speed and a pace to the way the Warriors play. Where they get to the line quickly, they're going to re-spot the ball about 4 inches.
Yes.
Which slows it down a little bit, but the pace at which Shaw brings them to the line and gets organized is impressive, Brock.
Yeah, it's not only impressive, but it's extremely intentional. And we'll have more to say about that in a moment.
All right, that one's to the outside again, Perlberg, and he's got some room to the outside. Liam Rhodes there, and Jack Tabbert out of the defensive end spot, bring him down, but a pick up 5 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 5 here.
Yeah, Kurt, when you talk about breaking the huddle, Muskego breaks the huddle, and they get to the ball, the time in between their plays is very short. And when you're playing a team that's so physical like Muskego, and they have the misdirection, one way to make that exponentially more difficult to defend is it shortening that time in between plays. And they do a very good job at it.
2nd and 5.
Right, 2nd and 5 here. Warriors now into Pirate territory. Shaw's going to keep it. He's going to try the air for the first time, and he's got a man deep. And this one is going in for the Muskego touchdown. That is Ben Krell out of the tight end spot. And, we talked about it. Shaw it's a blessing to have the rushing attack, but he's no slouch throwing the ball. He put that one right where it needed to be. Touchdown to big tight end.
Yep.
Ben Krell got loose.
Put it right on the money.
All right, 20-0 here, Warriors with the point after to follow. Jack Schuette's been true on his first 2. He'll try to make it a 21-0 lead here for Muskego. And that one is good again. And
the extra
Schuette
point by Jack Schuette is good.
21-0 in fact. Well, Brock, it's there's a little bit of a nip in the air here, and these guys can stay warm. You put on a little bit of that Iron Jock. Again, a proud sponsor of Pewaukee Athletics, and our other flagship sponsor this year is Phoenix Pest Management. So you get some mosquitoes, you get a little nip in the air. No worries, you can get the Iron Jock to keep warm. You get the Phoenix Pest Management to take care of your mosquitoes. You're good to go. Thank you again, Phoenix Pest Control and Iron Jock, 2 season-long sponsors of Pewaukee Athletics. All right, back to football. We got ourselves a deficit, 21-0. The Warrior offense just has been prolific. 3 drives, 3 scores, 2 through the air. That last one, a connection from Shaw to Krell, gives the Warriors a 21-0 lead.
And
Schutte will kick off again for the 3rd time here in the first quarter. Weiss and Wall deep for the Pirates. And that kick a little more to the center of the field, fielded by Colton Wall. And Colton's out to the 22-yard line. Big hit out there. But Colton's back up. That was, I think, Hunter Kazabucky Jr. For Muskego. Made it down there quickly.
Made the tackle.
It'll be 1st and 10 Pirates here from the 22. And see if they can't get a little bit of something working on this this 3rd possession and give that defense a little bit of a break. They've been out there a lot, and it has been a challenging go of it on the defensive side of the ball. Let's see if this Pirate offense can get the chains moving a little bit.
Absolutely.
Their 3rd crack of the first quarter.
And sometimes your goal changes a little bit as the game progresses. And sometimes you're looking for, let's get a first down, string that together.
Doberstein will give the handoff to Charrington. And a little bit of room there, but not much. Ball squirted out, but that one was whistled dead. I'll call it 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Charrington on the carry. Nathan Mackinnon made the tackle.
Pirates trot Benji Weiss back out there. Junior Peyton Sutter into the lineup as well. See if they look to move the ball a little bit. This is Weiss again in the shotgun. Rhodes in motion. And we are going to have another flag on the play. It looks like we're going to have some illegal motion on that one.
Dead ball, full start, offense. Dead ball, full
Call
start,
it a false start
offense.
again.
5 yards, still 2nd
Backing
down.
ourselves up behind the chains. This will make it 2nd and 13. And it's really been all night long is the penalties putting the Pirates in a situation where difficult down and distance, 2nd and 13, makes it a little tougher. So that one snap sails over Weiss's head. Benji's got it, and Benji falls down right at the 1 yard line. Could have been worse, but not by much. Benji able to get to the ball and prevent a Muskego touchdown. But now it's going to be 3rd and 31, backed up all the way on the 1 yard line. So now you're just hoping to make it out of here. Make it out of here without a safety or a touchdown for the Warriors.
Yeah. You can also say, Kurt, too, next week isn't going to be an easier opponent.
No, it's yeah.
And so you're looking at your players as well right now to see how they respond to this.
Absolutely.
It's 3rd
And
and
the team,
31.
and we've talked about it. This is a
Number 1.
challenging situation. But it's also a learning, and that snap goes high over Doberstein's head, and that is recovered by Muskego in the end zone. So after the initial
Touchdown, Muskego.
prevention of that, the 2nd snap, Brooks just wasn't able to get to it or knock it out of the end zone. And the nightmarish first quarter for the Pirates continues this time on the defensive side of the ball. The Warriors put 6 on the board, and it'll be 27-0.
Kurt, how about you? Let's talk to Coach Kurt for a second. You've coached for many, many years in many different sports. And so what would your message be to our Pirate team at this stage and this juncture? What do you ask them to focus on?
Yeah, there's this is the 3rd game of the season. That's one piece of it. And character means a lot. And character means a lot not just when you're winning, but when you're in a tough situation, whether it's on the football field, basketball court, life, whatever it might be. But how you act when you're in a situation like this, it shows a lot. And I know this Pirate coaching staff, and they're not happy with it, but they're looking at a bunch of guys out here and looking to see what the character of these young men are, because there's a long season in front of them. and they are going to need to, they are going to need to be a team that has some resilience here. This is looking pretty uphill, if we're honest right now. But what can you learn? What can you take out of a game like this where things are not going your way, one iota in the first quarter? And that is, are the kids playing hard? Are they staying disciplined? A lot of these penalties have had nothing to do with Muskego and
Correct.
everything to do with us.
Great
so how
point.
can we represent, the character and, the building of a team that we want to make sure that we become by the season's end? That is all in front of these guys in the next 3 quarters, regardless of what the scoreboard says. Well said,
Coach.
All right, we'll do it again. Shooty's legs got to be getting tired here in this first quarter. His fourth kickoff and fourth extra point, and we'll have Wall and Weiss. They flip-flop spots back there, and they'll be set to return another one here
Wall and Weiss, deep for Pewaukee.
for the Pirates. Shooty right down the center. This time Weiss is going to get a shot at it from about that same spot. Benji going to try to reverse field a little bit. He'll take it out to the 15-yard line. Big hit. And
Weiss on the return.
a little bit of a wrestling match out there at the 20, but
Like a
no
Forsythe
harm, no
made the
foul.
tackle.
And Pirates will start again from their 22-yard line.
To add what you were saying earlier, Kurt, and I completely agree with your point of view on the coaching.
First down,
The other thing you
Pewaukee.
want to walk in a situation like this is how the team is working with each other in the situation like this. Are they staying supportive and playing for each other, or are we seeing things that we shouldn't see towards each other? And I just feel like it's such a good litmus test of a team, and thankfully it's early on in the season.
All right, this will be Doberstein in the shotgun. And he's going to keep that one on the ground to Charrington. Charrington's got a couple up the middle, but not a whole lot.
Charrington, the
That will
ball
bring up
carrier.
second and call it 7. We'll call it a pickup of 3.
Nathan Mackinnon made the
First down.
tackle.
And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. And a first quarter let's not sugarcoat it. That was a house of horrors for our Pirates. If it could go wrong, it did go wrong for the Pirates. And if it could go right, it did go right for Muskego. 4 touchdowns on 4, impressive scores out there. The defense putting a little bit of action on the board there to end it off. 2 rushing touchdowns from Perlberg and Nemec. The long pass to the big tight end out there, Ben Krell, and then the touchdown by the defense. I did not pick up who collected it for Muskego out there, but got some work to do here, Brock. 28-0 deficit for these Pirates to work their way back from, and they're going to have a 2nd and 8, they'll call it, as they spot that one back at the 19-yard line. And like you said, start with the small victory. Let's string together a couple nice runs, penalty-free drive, get a first down, move the chains. Keep your defense off the field for a moment and let them have a little bit of breath out there.
Yeah.
I think that's the prescription, just what the doctor ordered.
Absolutely. And I start with a penalty-free drive. Let's have a clean drive. The yardage would be second. Let's try to, in a pressure situation like this is a stressful situation, can you still execute and minimize or eliminate those mental errors? And I think that would be one win to set us up for future success here.
2nd and 8.
This will be
From the
Weiss
19.
taking the snap. That one goes high, but he's able to get it away, and that's Charrington out of the pack with it. And Charrington's
There
out
we go.
to the 30-yard line. That'll be good for a first down.
Charrington with
Nice
the carry.
run by Benji. Charrington. Very nice hands by Benji to
First
corral that
down,
snap
Pewaukee.
and get the ball into Omar's hands for the Pirate first down.
Good, solid execution on that play. Line did a great job opening up. Good transfer. So, yeah, great play. Let's stack them up.
All right, first and 10 rather from the 31. Pirates with their first down of the evening. See if they can keep the chains moving here and put together a drive, Brock.
Absolutely.
Go back to Doberstein in the shotgun. Rhodes and Wall wide to the bottom of your screen. Going to keep it in the hands of Doberstein, and he's trying deep, and a lot of contact out there. To Samaji Petzold got tied up. Looked like he might have a free run there, but a little bit of contact there, and that one falls incomplete. It'll make it 2nd and 10.
A little physicality out there in the secondary, but what we saw here, we had a good run here, Kurt, backed up with a pass attempt. So, there may be a little rhythm happening here, which we're happy to see.
2nd and 10 here for the Pirates. Go back to sophomore quarterback Benji Weiss.
2nd and 10. 2nd and 10.
Rhodes to the bottom of your screen. Petzold wide to the top of your screen. And another false start. Just looked like the line was off kilter and all kinds of motion on the left side of the line. It'll back them up again, Brock. It'll be 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15. It's tough when you keep putting yourself in more difficult situations. So, again, back to the elimination of errors. You got a nice quality run execution. Pass didn't work out as we wanted, but there's movement on that, getting the ball in the air, and then you kind of shoot yourself in the foot again. So now you're back to kind of square one again.
All right, so 2nd and 15 from the 26. Weiss again in the shotgun.
He's
going to keep it, try running to the outside. Tabbert with a block out there, but that was number 7, Jaden Adams of the Warriors, with a really nice pursuit and stop. Call it maybe a no gain or a loss of 1. It'll be 3rd and 16 here for the Pirates. So what looked like a promising start with that first down, the penalty sets them back, and a no gainer on 2nd down. Now we got a long 3rd and 16 in front of us. Go back to Doberstein.
3rd and 16.
Gonna roll out to the left, all kinds of pressure. Doberstein off balance, and that one sails incomplete, intended for Rhodes, and that will bring up
Doberstein's pass is incomplete.
It's a reminder, not a lot of room or to plant your feet, and Brooks still got enough zip on that ball, because that was definitely contested by the Warrior offense. But Brooks, as he starts to figure it out, he's got a cannon. A baseball player, of course, like his cousins and brothers. I think we're going to see a lot of those throws on the run. And that is blocked, picked up, recovered by the Pirates, by Peyton Sutter, but all the way back at the 13-yard line. So big special teams play for the other side tonight. It was Adams that got through for the Warriors. Snuffed it out. Sutter did a good job of smothering it to prevent the recovery from the Warriors, but turnover on downs, and it'll be 1st and 10 with a very short field. The ball will be spotted at the Pirate 13-yard line. Not the start we were looking for the second quarter.
Not the start, but I do want to point out, too, the defense last week had some big plays, some turnovers. And, we'd look for them to step up a little bit tonight as well.
Shaw keeps it on the ground. This time, handoff goes to Bryson Heffler.
Bryson Heffler, the ball carrier.
Just a
Brandon Duranko made the tackle.
Gain of about 5 on first down. It'll be
2nd down
and 5. Ball spotted now inside the 10-yard line at the 8.
2nd and 5.
Shaw working with Heffler in the backfield again. He'll hand it to Heffler. Heffler's got the left side, and he's got some room. And right down to the doorstep. I think that's going to be good for the first down.
Bryson Heffler,
but
again,
not
the ball
touchdown.
carrier.
It'll be 1st and goal, Warriors.
Samaji Petzold and Jamal Tyler on the tackle.
It looks like from our vantage point, the 3-yard line or so. Shaw brings them to the line quickly.
First down, Muskego.
Go right back to Heffler, and good job by CT. Carson Taylor up quickly.
Hoffler on the
Maybe
carry.
a gain of a foot on that one. It'll be second and goal.
Carson Taylor with the tackle.
Good. And you like to see that, Kurt. You know,
Second
in this
and goal.
situation, you're looking for those guys that are still playing 100%. They're playing aggressive. They're executing. Their mind is still in the game in the way it needs to be, and that spreads, and that can inspire their teammates as well.
Shaw under center. Heffler still in the backfield. Put a man in motion. That's Perlberg. And Perlberg is in for his second touchdown of the night.
Aiden Perlberg
Working the
in
inside
for the
and finish it
Muskego
off with that
touchdown.
outside run to Aiden Perlberg. That will make it 34-0. And just a whole lot of that Muskego rushing attack from different guys on that short drive. We saw Bryson Heffler do some of the work, and then Perlberg finish it off. Schutte back out there one more time. See if he can make this a 35-0 game. And that kick is up, and it is true.
The extra point is good.
All right, Brock. We, it's gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand earlier for the Pirates, and we've talked a lot about it. There's still a lot of football game left. There's going to be some opportunities here for kids, to do the right thing, to prove what they've got in some different situations. And the one thing I'll say, and you called it out, Carson Taylor, one of the senior leaders, no quit on that drive. I haven't seen any iota of quit out of this Pirate team, nor would I expect it. It is, it's a challenge. And this is, some of what you heard with you being in the Classic 8 and punching up a weight class or two against some of these teams. Yeah, Muskego is showing what Classic 8 football is about. As much as the Pirates have struggled, you have to take your hat off to this Muskego team. They are executing on all sides of the ball. Defensively, put a touchdown on the board. Special teams come up with a huge punt block to start that drive, and both through the air and on the ground. Muskego has come to play tonight and really, really put their mark on this first half here at Firestein Field.
No question. You do have to take your hat off to them. They're an excellent football team. They're well coached. They execute. They play physically. They play the way that you want a football team to play.
Jack Schutte to kick off.
All right, we got Wall and Weiss back again to receive the kick from Schutte here. 8.5 minutes left here in the first half. And this one will be fielded step out of the end zone by sophomore Benji Weiss. Benji with a little bit of room is out to the 26-yard line, where Pirates will head out there and give it a shot.
Kurt, I think the message for me would not have changed. The message doesn't change. It is, you need to go out. We're going to go out as a team, and we're going to execute. We're going to eliminate mental mistakes. That's number one. And we're going to see who came to play, who's playing for each other, and let it rip. I think it's the second quarter. There's a lot, as you said, there's a lot of football to be played here. And so you better believe that the coaching staff in Pewaukee is watching closely how we're preparing themselves, how we're reacting, and how we're executing here.
All right, Doberstein going to try it in the air, rolling out. Little bit of time, and that one is, nearly picked off. That was well covered out there by Talon Zarniak, the leading tackler on the Warriors. Almost had himself an interception. He was kicking himself. I think he saw pay dirt on that one. Pirates fortunate enough to get out of that one with unscathed. You're keeping an eye on the clock per WIA rules, and it does an incomplete pass. We are in running clock territory, so the 35-point lead does dictate that the clock will, in fact, run. So if you're wondering about that, that is what's going on here. And our Pirates, I think one of the maybe if there is a silver lining, you get to try out your passing attack in a situation where otherwise you might not ordinarily. So see if they keep it on the ground, and they will. Omar for a couple of yards up the gut.
I think another point to be made here is, Kurt, when you have a game like this, you're watching as a coach to see when something is taken away from your offense or from your defense, where can you build up some other strengths? And so, Muskego obviously is a very, very good defense on the run, right? And so you're not getting a lot of yardage here, and it's evident in this game. So a coach is always looking for those opportunities to see live where they can build and where they can improve.
3rd and 7.
That ball is out, and that one is picked off. Number 15 out there for the Warriors. That's Jake Cardelis, senior defensive back. And Brooks was under duress a little bit, and that throw found its way to Cardelis. So interception for the Warriors. They'll start again in Pirate territory, this time from the 41-yard line. Rush Shaw in the offense to the line. Shaw back there. Pressure. Does a good job escaping and throws a shovel pass out there complete. So great escapability. Somehow Shaw got it out there to Seth Conway, and late flag on the field. I didn't catch it, Brock, but there may have been some extracurriculars.
I didn't catch it
tail
either.
End of that one.
I didn't catch it either.
Good pursuit, and Shaw with a kind of Brett Favre-esque little flip out on the run, found Conway, and Conway taking it all the way down. But I think looks like they're backing this up. Looks like the
after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Warriors. That'll back that up.
The end of the run.
Back that up
first down
from the spot, and it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And that's another thing. I think, both teams and both teams, very, very well-coached programs. They want to see a clean game, and especially as things get out of hand here, it's the last thing I know anybody wants to see on either side of it as you start to see these unnecessary penalties. There's Shaw. That one's batted down on the outside.
Yeah, it's great point, Kurt. There's so many nuances to the team aspect of this game, and certainly when things aren't going your way to this extent, it can be frustrating. You can lose sort of your temper and things like that. The coaches are preaching. This is a good time to manage that. The season is early.
All right, 2nd and 10 here after the batted ball. I think that was Petzold that got his hands on it. One of the many things that he does an outstanding job at. That one will stay on the ground. And that is Lorino. Takes it ahead for about 7. It'll be 3rd and 3. Sutter and Rhodes finished him off. We'll see if the Pirates can hold here on 3rd and 3. Shaw with Lorino deep behind him again. Keep it on the ground to Lorino. Lorino's got the first down, and he is through.
Lorino on the carry.
Peyton Sutter
with the tackle.
Wall in there on the tackle.
First down,
but it will be 1st down and 10 for the Warriors, threatening to put their 6th touchdown on the board in this first half. Loreno deep again in the backfield behind Shaw. And Shaw's going to keep it, looking to the outside. His pass is up, and that is complete and good for another Muskego touchdown. That's Seth Conway. And pretty good ball, but an outstanding catch by Conway. He went up and got it.
He sure did.
So, rolling out. Shaw just gave him. He made it a ball that only Conway was going to catch, and that's exactly what he did. Shooty on to try to make it a 42-0 game here. High snap, but kick is true all the same.
The extra point is good.
It is 42-0 Warriors here, so character test deluxe at this point. This is just a battle of, what do you have deep down, inside. Finish this out, do it with that character, and do it the right way. That's what you expect out of these guys. There's a long season. I've said it before. There's a long season ahead of us, and there's a team here that certainly we get into that D3 bracket. We can compete with anybody. We got some work to do to compete against the class of the Classic 8, clearly, at this point with a team like Muskego coming in here and just putting it to our Pirates.
Well, coaches everywhere talk about to their team, let's not get too high, let's not get too low. Let's live in that sort of median area, play focused, play with intensity, but as the game fluctuates, you're in control of how you're, reacting to that. And we can only say it so many times, but this is a good test, and it won't be the last test. So we're seeing the Pirates still coming out firing, still playing, and I would expect to see that for the second half as well.
Shooty's kick deep. Charrington back there this time. Charrington will field it from the 9-yard line, and Omar's out to the outside. Chase down right about the 25. Oh, they're going to put it out at the 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Again, clock running. WIAA runs that thing at 35 seconds. And or at 35-point deficit, I should say. So 46 seconds just on the clock. We get a lot of football teams to watch, some very good ones, but I walk away from this first half very impressed with the Muskego Warriors. Our Pirates have to, grow into this version of the team for sure, but definitely hats off to this Muskego Warriors team, and you get the sense that this is going to be a team to be reckoned with, and maybe might find themselves right back in Madison again this year.
Yeah.
I'll keep it on the ground to Charrington for a couple yards. That's going to take us to halftime, Brock. Pirates will go to the locker room down 42-0 in a running clock scenario. And, this is another spot where you see what these guys are made out of and have a chance to maybe get some moral victory out of this second half and figure out what can you do. It's a game that has clearly gotten away from the Pirates in the first half, but what can you do to make the final 2 quarters of football tonight somewhat productive and take a little bit of momentum into that showdown with the Arrowhead Warhawks next week?
Absolutely. And I think there certainly will be conversations at halftime, but, I always think about coaching as teaching as well. It's teaching. And there's going to be some lessons shared here at halftime, and I have no doubt the Pirates are going to come out firing. They're going to have some challenges that have been laid out to them, and they're going to come out and they're going to work together on it. So looking forward to the second half here.
You know who I know hasn't given up yet is that crew out at Stenny's again. We'll give them a shout-out one more time. Tonight's Friday Night Fiesta. The boys will still enjoy a good meal, reload after this challenging game here tonight. Thank you to our friends at Stenny's Lake Country. the night is still young. If you're out there and you're watching us on YouTube, I would get out there and go to Stenny's and enjoy a fish fry, a burger, all that good stuff. Thank you, Stenny's, for your support with our Pirate Fiesta. Can't quite see it on the screen, but celebrating Parents' Night here for the Pewaukee cheerleading squad. Still supporting the crew, rain or shine. And tonight we got the cheerleaders out there, and a big thank you to their parents for everything that they're doing.
And Jamie, parents of Amelia Zombor. Charlie Court walking with Brooklyn Blues.
We're going to take a quick break here. I mentioned them earlier, but our friends at Iron Jock, season-long sponsors of Pewaukee Athletics, going to stick with us through the Pirate football and basketball seasons. Here's a message from our friends at Iron Jock.
Hey, it's Isaac Miller, junior defensive end in high school. 14 Division I offers. Yep, 1-4. Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, Miami, you name it. Everyone's asking, where's Isaac going? Well, I'll tell you this. It's going to be big, it's going to be loud, and it's going to be legendary. But first, I'm hitting the weight room in my Iron Jock gear. Because no matter what logo I wear next, Iron Jock is how I get there.
Go to ironjock.com.
All right, that was a message from our friends at Iron Jock. Again, thank you for your season-long sponsorship. And now we've got the Pewaukee dance team is going to be out there to perform. So we'll let you take this one in, and Brock and I will be right back with the little bit of breakdown and talk a little bit about the season in front of us in the second half.
Now, fans, it's time for your halftime entertainment. The Pewaukee dance team will be performing to the Mr. Worldwide mix. This routine was choreographed by Eddie Tom, Olivia Layton, Audrey Schwanke, and Elise Taylor. The Ponds are coached by Val Sikowski and Lisa Gerdman. Good luck, ladies. Your music is on. Your Pewaukee dance team.
Halftime here, folks. 42-0. The Muskego Warriors have put a stamp on the first half here at Firestein Field, and our Pewaukee offense is going to have to just see what they can salvage here, Brock, in the second half.
They can do good things here. I think. Again, in the locker room, what do you say to the team, Kurt? What do you say? What can you say that we haven't said already before you send them out here for the second half?
Yeah, I think, one of the other things that you'd expect will happen here, maybe not right away in the third quarter, but Muskego is going to move to some of their reserves and work to get some kids into the game as well. And your Pirates have to continue to play hard because a team like Muskego, with the depth that they have, the kids that they're trotting out here are not going to be any slouch, and they're going to have something to prove. They're going to look at this as this is their chance to earn some earn some spot, whether it's this year, later in the season, or next year. I think you're going to see that with some of the depth of some of the teams in the Classic 8. You get a second unit out here, you got kids that are really good and really hungry. So there just can't be any let-up. When there's let-up, that's the kind of stuff that can spiral into next week. And it can also, for any individual kid, it could also be an opportunity for kids on both sides to make a name for themselves in this game. Much in the way a preseason scrimmage. This game's out of hand. It's very unlikely that the Pirates are going to make this a competitive second half with a running clock and a 42-0 lead. But what kind of things can you do that can build momentum into next week and into the depth of this season? Because in the short run, it's not going to get much easier with Arrowhead. 2 weeks from then, Muskego and Waukesha West in between, which is no slouch at all. Just a gauntlet in the Classic 8. So you got to do something to build some momentum. You talked about it. I think the number one thing you do is control the controllables of the self-inflicted mistakes.
Yes.
The false starts, some of the holding penalties. Shore up the exchange there with the center and the quarterback, and all of those things that you can control. Because Muskego, given a short field, they're going to make you pay. They've made that very clear. We got to make them work for everything they have.
Yes. Agreed. Agree with everything you just said, Kurt. And, I think about the second half from a player standpoint, from a team standpoint, from a coaching standpoint. I think, having been in some of these situations myself on a team, and, things aren't going your way in a pretty dramatic way. I remember, and I'll tell this story, playing a team, and we were being beat pretty handily. And I remember our offensive line coach at halftime took us aside and he said, here's the deal, guys. You're still playing for your team, but you're also playing an individual game right now. And I'm watching each one of you. And he gave us specifics at that time. So one guy said, I'm watching how you're developing the second half on footwork. We worked on it this past week. That's what I'm watching you on. Another guy, I'm watching your hands. How are you moving your hands? And so we all left the locker room at halftime coming out. Yes, we had that team mindset. Yes, we needed to minimize mistakes. Yes, we wanted to put forth some drives, so forth. But we had our mindset was placed in such a way that we had specific and attainable objectives that we were thinking about on the field. And I think that it's very likely that our coaching staff has probably given some of those pieces of advice or some of those challenges out, because it can help, especially in the high school level. It can be very easy for players at this age to get down to a point where they're almost you don't want to say giving up, but it mentally can be very difficult. And to give each player some specific goals to focus on as they come out can really do some positive things, not only for their confidence, but helps them execute in what can be a really tough situation.
Yeah, it's very true. And I think, one of the things that I would look to this team, we've talked about it a bit, it's a pretty young team. There's a lot of sophomores and juniors out there. And I think in a game like this, they can look at it as, I've got a lot of football games left to play, and this is my opportunity to be on the big field. And maybe you get into the some of the depth of the Pirate roster as the night goes on. These are important steps towards building a winning program that really a lot of people who are close to the program expect a lot out of these next few years. We've got a very strong freshman class. This sophomore class has shown that there's a number of kids making an impact every single week, and some big-time juniors out there. Certainly the senior leadership, there's no quitting those guys, but I think the fact that you have so many young kids that are getting, maybe their third shot at being on a varsity field, or maybe their first shot tonight, it means something. And I do believe in the heart of this team, this coaching staff, that there just won't be any give up in this second half. It's a matter of what can you do to make it a positive, momentum building thing into next week. And then as we move through the conference season and ultimately, wrap things up, looking ahead for Muskego, we have an opposite schedules the next couple weeks. We've got Arrowhead and then Waukesha West. Muskego will play Waukesha West and then have a showdown with Arrowhead the next week. So they're like the Pirates, getting into the thick of their Classic 8 season. And, from the looks of it, there's not going to be any looking ahead or circling that Arrowhead game for them by any stretch of the imagination. This is a team that appears like they're on a mission, tonight and headed into a showdown with Waukesha West, next week. And I've said it, and they've earned it. This has been a very impressive Muskego attack tonight. Perlberg on the ground. That's junior running back Eden Perlberg with 2 touchdowns on the ground. Joey Shaw, the quarterback, hitting tight end Ben Krell with the long touchdown. We've got the Nemec got the touchdown in the early going, and not to mention the defensive score deep in the end zone. So they've done it in a number of different ways tonight. The Pirates haven't been their best. We'll call that what it is. But Muskego has been pretty darn close to it. They have done most things right night in, night out over the last few years, and tonight's no difference. This is a team that looks like a contender, no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely, and again, hats off to Muskego. They're an excellent football team. But what does that mean when you break that down? They have had this evening very few mental errors, a couple penalties here and there, but when they put their drives together across the field, they're executing. And what does that mean in terms of the details of that? The line gets a great push on the offense. Defensively, they're stuffing. The defensive line is stout. The linebacking core is pretty voracious. But then you also talk about, you mentioned special teams earlier, Kurt, as well. And special teams is very solid on Muskego. I noticed, again, on defense, one of those subtleties, the closing speed on the defensive players. And so we talked about that last week with some of our Pirates, and how you can see that develop on the defensive side. And that doesn't always come naturally. That's something that is coached, and guys sort of kind of come into that. And so just, again, I agree with your assessment of Muskego. They're a good football team, really well coached, and hats off to them.
All right, Schutte will kick it away. Pirates will get first crack at it here in the second half. Omar Charrington, Colton Wall deep for the Pirates. Let's see if they can start things anew here in the second half, Brock, and maybe build a little bit of momentum to get things started here. Schutte set to kick this thing away. He's done a nice job all night putting that ball right in the vicinity of the 5-yard line. Wall's got it. He's out to the 20. Does a good job spinning away from tackles. But pursuit is still there. Colton's still on his feet, and Colton is all the way out to the 40-yard line. So how about that for a little spark? There were 2 or 3 occasions where it looked like Colton was going to be brought down, but it wasn't until he is all the way out to the 41-yard line. That's a kid that I know will have no quit in him. Sophomore Colton Wall has made a huge impact this year, and really both in special teams, but on the defensive side of the ball, a kid who they do that defensive player of the week. And how about that? His first 2 starts on the varsity roster, and he's the co-defensive player of the week 2 weeks running. Colton's a kid that I know he's looking at this as an opportunity to just continue to get varsity reps and make an impact.
Yeah, great return.
All right, handoff. They'll start on the ground. Charrington's got a little bit of room, and Charrington is out past the 45-yard line. Pick up of 6 on first down.
Well, great to see Kurt. Pirates coming out firing, high energy, trying to put some things together here, and as we expected.
Again, clock is running. That 35-point deficit creates that scenario in the WIA rule book. It does look like the defensive line have made some changes up front there for Muskego. Work to get some of their depth into play here. Pirates will keep it on the ground. That's Charrington again. Charrington's got the first down, and he's into Warrior territory. So
Carrington on the carry.
nice couple of runs there for Omar.
Mason Hughes made the
And the
stop.
Pirates will move the chains
First
out to
down,
the
Pewaukee.
Muskego 49-yard line.
And these reps do matter at this point, as you've already pointed out, Kurt. You know, as we do sort of sub in and coaches are trying different combinations and different looks, these reps are, you know, absolutely critical for a lot of these younger guys as we come up, preparing them for a long and arduous season.
Doberstein in the shotgun. Go back on the ground to Charrington. Charrington with a window, and he has got another 7 yards there.
Carrington on the carry.
Good hole there for Omar.
Logan Salas made the tackle.
Be a pickup of 6.
Second
It'll
down.
be 2nd and 4 here for Pewaukee. Omar, another kid. If you were to suggest that there's any quit in him, you haven't been watching Pirate football the last few years. He keeps his feet moving. He hits a hole hard, and he doesn't go down until that whistle has sounded. We'll put Rhodes in motion, and Rhodes will try it, and he's got a little bit of room to the outside. Spins and has another Pirate first down out to the 36-yard line. So get the ball in Liam's hands, and he makes something happen as he has all year long.
Yeah, Rhodes, great runner, just so shifty, fast, and he can shift gears so quickly and easily. Very evasive, but also tough at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, and you mentioned Omar, Kurt, and, you know, because of the defensive front of Muskego in the first half, you didn't see a lot of what Omar has to offer, but the second half here, I think you're going to start to see some things open up for him.
Doberstein with Rhodes in motion again. They're going to give it to Omar this time. Omar's got hard yards up the middle. And
Carrington with the carry.
tackle.
Jack Geraci made the tackle. Second down.
Jack Gracie, senior DB, came up to make the tackle. Did a nice job of sniffing that one out. Omar had a little bit of hole, and it took Gracie stepping up out of that D-back position to make that tackle and prevent a larger gain. Chains are moving, or we're moving towards that first down, and not behind the chains, I should say, which was the case on so many of these,
Yes,
drives coming to a halt in the first half. You want to keep this momentum going and keep the positive yards churning, don't you, Brock?
absolutely. And, we talked about that. So far, no mental errors. Execution is high.
Back out to Rhodes, and Rhodes with a little bit of room on that one. He's close to the first down, but it'll be a couple yards short.
Doberstein's pass complete to number
It'll be
2.
3rd and
Liam
along
Rhodes.
3.
And you just have to,
Adams
Kurt,
made
take a
the
look
tackle.
at Jack Tabbert out there,
Third down.
53. Sustaining blocks well beyond what is, sort of normalized until that whistle. I'd love to see that. In this type of situation, that's exactly what those coaches are looking for, because the other guys are going to pick up on that. So far, lots of energy from the Pirates.
All right, we are at 3rd and 3 here.
3rd and 3.
Wall and Rhodes to the higher your screen. You're going to keep it on the ground. And looks like he's got yardage, and he's still on his feet. Good job by Omar fighting for that first down. He's got it down to the 25, and the Pirates will move the chains again.
Very good. There we go. A little momentum, execution, momentum. It's good stuff.
Good blocks out there. They had Petzold and John Gertis loaded up on that right side, and Omar took what they gave him, and then made for 2 or 3 more on his own after that initial contact.
Yeah, that's what you love about Omar, is that he's patient. He hits the hole hard, but he's patient. He reads his blocks, and as we've discussed before, he has that second gear that can kick in. He doesn't go down on the first hit.
There it is to the outside, and some more room for Omar. He's down near the first down. And that will be a pickup of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Second down.
promising drive strung together here by the Pirates to start the second half. Clock winding all the way through here. We're at 5 minutes already with that WIAA sanctioned running clock.
Yep.
Carson Taylor in the backfield now with Doberstein. Peyton Sutter in there as well. We'll keep it on the ground to Taylor, and Taylor's got some room up the middle. And that'll be good for another first down. So chains are moving again. CT with some hard yards. Another senior that quit is not in his dictionary. And, you take a run like that up the middle, you get to take a little bit of anger out for a guy who's one of the stars of the Pirate defense. Give CT the ball, let him take out some of the aggression on the offensive end. Eh, Brock?
Absolutely. Let her rip. Offensive line here doing a great job executing. Nice big hole on that for him, too, as well.
I'll keep CT in there and keep it on the ground to him right side behind Big Tucker Thieneman, and he's got some room pushed ahead. And Carson's got a nice pickup on first down.
Jack Geraci with the tackle.
Geraci got in there again.
Second down.
Tucker's kind of like a solar eclipse sometimes where with that black jersey against a white defender, he just blocked out the sun a little bit. And Carson knew where to go with it, and the rest took care of itself. Let's see if they keep it on the ground to CT again. He's been good on these last couple of carries. And they will, and Carson is real close, and Carson is in for the touchdown. Pewaukee. CT puts the Pirates on the board. And they'll make it 42-6. So, we talked about it. The character building, what do you do about this? You're playing against some second unit guys. No quit in that Pirate offense to open up the second half. You got to love it if you're the Pirate coaching staff. That is what it's about.
Absolutely. Great to see that. Great to see the effort and execution.
Snap is down. Tristan Schlender is up and good, and make it 42-7. Schlender, a kid who's done a really nice job. I told the story a little bit last week. A soccer kid who has found his way onto this football roster, and he's done a really nice job with some critical extra points, the kickoffs. Looks like an old veteran out there in the kicking game, and he was true again on that one for junior kicker Tristan Schlender. All right, Brock. Well, a little bit of momentum. You run some of that clock down. The clock all the way down to 3:14 with that sustained drive that was built on the rushing attack. It was a lot of Sherrington, and Carson C.T. Taylor finished it off with the touchdown after 3 carries of just hard yards behind a no-quit offensive line. You got to love it.
Great offensive run there. And, in a lot of ways, this second half it's a different game. It's a different game right now. We have, some other guys out there from Muskego. It's our opportunity from the Pirate side to go out, start fresh, focus on execution, get some aggression out, as you pointed out, and really go after it and give some other guys a chance.
Schlender skips that one through and fielded out at the 20-yard line. Bryson King and a host of Pirates down there. I think there was a little bit of a late hit out there. I'm not going to call them extracurriculars, but almost. We were almost to extracurriculars there, Brock.
Close to the extracurriculars.
So, yeah, we want to keep this second half extracurricular free if we can.
Yes, let's do that.
So we'll see what the Warrior offense has. You'd expect you'll see some different faces out there, certainly in the second half. CT in the backfield in a hurry and puts that one to rest quickly. He had that one sniffed out. That was Josh Formolo took the carry, and Carson continued running downhill from that touchdown and had that one sniffed out. So nice stop on first down. It'll back the Warriors up. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Great play from the linebacker position, shooting that gap. Excellent job on that.
Handoff goes to, that's Formolo, and he has some room. CT gives chase, and Rhodes giving chase, but Formolo is gone for the Warrior touchdown. What a disheartening after the Pirates get on the board. Formolo picks up where that Warrior rushing attack left off, and again to the outside, he found pay dirt. Really impressive burst out of the the reserve tailback. Formolo bottled up on that first carry, and he didn't flinch. Took the second one all the way to the house. 48-7, and that snap is bobbled, and point after will be no good.
The extra point try is
Brandon Durango did a good job of getting to Schutte to put a lid on that. So it'll remain 48-7. That's a challenging one where you have good play on first down, and then junior Josh Formolo breakaway speed takes it in for the score. Craig's reminding folks, so I may as well too, one more time for anybody else out there. It is it's Stenny's night, and our friends at Stenny's are going to feed these guys after the game. Always get great support from the community. If you're out there and you know somebody, or you want to just sponsor dinner through one of your favorite restaurants and give them your patronage, hit us up. Drop a note in the chat. Find Jeff Behrens, Jay Behrens, at PewaukeeSchools.org and let them know you want to sponsor a fiesta. We've got plenty of other opportunities to support Pirates football, all of our athletic programs and PTV. And thank you tonight for our friends at Stenny's one more time. We appreciate you more than you know.
That's the Bound app. Download it today.
All right, Schutte will kick it away again. He's been a busy guy tonight, Brock.
He sure has. This Schutte, he's kicked a lot of balls here. He's been a busy man.
The last one he didn't get a chance to, so maybe he's itching to kick one away again. He's got Colton Wall and Omar Charrington deep for the Pirates. He'll send that line drive kick. It'll shoot through the wall at the 15. Colton's up with it, now to the 30-yard line. And take it out to the 33 before he's brought down
Colton Wall on the return
by the Warriors.
Logan
Sky Krieger was down there quickly. Some good coverage for the Warriors. Colton's done a nice job on the kick returns tonight, and that's a kind of a unique position to be returning so many kicks in a given evening, isn't it, Brock?
Well, and I was just kind of thinking about that, Kurt. You know, you look for silver linings in games like this, right? And so what's a positive? Well, a positive is, we talked about special teams earlier, especially as the season goes along, your special teams should and can make a bigger impact in some of those close games. So in a game like this, 6-7 attempts at returning the football, that's good practice for that team.
All right, here we are. Doberstein in the shotgun. Colton Wall in motion. They're going to pitch it to Colton this time. Colton's got some room, and 5 yards for Colton. And you talk about things that you want to see. This guy's going to touch the football in these next couple of years. Colton with his first carry of the season, and he looked good on that forward little pitch out that they've used so many times successfully with Rhodes.
Yeah, I like Colton as a runner, and what you see from him, obviously the speed is there, the shiftiness is there, seeing lanes and seeing pathways, but he's also very tough with the football. He doesn't shy away from the contact, and sometimes those things don't go hand in hand. Sometimes
And that's
you
the
get a
end
faster
of the third quarter.
guy who kind of shies away from the contact, or you get that smash mouth kind of guy that loves that contact, never tries to go around anybody. So what you have with Colton there, you got a lot of nice elements here. He's got a really good future here.
Yeah, you do. He's been primarily that defensive player playing linebacker for the most part, has shifted to a more of a safety position with some of the injuries. Ethan Monfelli, that strong senior back there. Colton's a really versatile kid and a very tough kid. I attribute his toughness. He lives over here in Steeplechase now, but his toughness was born on the mean streets of Victoria Station. Colton was our neighbor growing up. So that toughness, you build that on the mean streets of Victoria Station.
I heard those are the mean streets.
The boys tennis program.
The east side of Pewaukee, if you will. You're an east sider too, Brock. I think you qualify as an east sider.
The northeast side. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Here is the
right.
winning number.
Yep, very tough out there.
0160.
Craig calling off the 50-50 raffle. We should have got in on that tonight.
I was going to ask you, did you get one tonight?
I didn't. I bet Muskego participates. Do you think they participate in a 50-50? I think they
so.
do.
I think probably.
Yeah. I think they do.
Who doesn't like a 50-50?
All right, fourth quarter here. Pirates trying to put 7 more scored on their opening possession in the second half, and Muskego answered back quickly with that. Pirates are going to try to return the favor. They'll put Wall in motion again. This time, keep it on the ground to Charrington, and Charrington is bottled up for a loss of a couple. Try that misdirection, and they were thinking all Charrington and not Wall that time, and they were right.
Yep.
Third
They
down.
read that one.
Right, 3rd and 5 here. We'll see if the Pirates go to the air and try to continue this drive. Sophomore quarterback Brooks Doberstein taking the play from Coach Justin Frisky. Again, if you're joining us late, this one got out of hand quickly. I mean, the Warriors scored on their first 3 drives on the offensive side of the ball, and then quickly put a defensive touchdown on the board as well. Pirates will keep it on the ground. That's Charrington, and he's got a little bit of a window back to looks like the 40.
Mason Horn made the
They're
tackle.
going to take it up to right about the first down marker, and they think they're moving the chains. They flipped it to first down, but they didn't move the chains. It will, in fact, be a first down on the Charrington.
There you go.
Charrington carry. So big pickup there on a 3rd and 5. They keep it on the ground to the senior running back, and Omar's able to power through the middle for a Pirate first down. High snap is handled. It'll stay on the ground to Charrington. That one is
Charrington the ball carrier.
not a lot of room there.
Josh Ross.
Not a lot
It
of
looks like they'll give him a yard,
Second down.
maybe.
So, Kurt, again, silver lining from an experience like this, if you're on the Pewaukee side of a game like this, you do have film after this game.
Yeah.
And, sometimes that's a little bit underrated, particularly in a game like this. You can go back and study where things started to kind of slip away. And you can really, really isolate those things. And there's a lot to learn from the film of a game like this,
Second
no
and
doubt.
9.
And we'll give a pickup of 1 on that one. It'll be 2nd and 9. Handoff out there. This is Duranko, and nice job by the Warrior defense. That was Mason
Brandon
Horn
Duranko with the
getting
carry.
up there very quickly.
Mason Horn and
Gonna
Logan
spot that ball
Sallis
at the line
on
of scrimmage.
tackle.
Call it a no gain.
Third
And it'll be
down.
3rd and 9 here. Nothing doing on that one.
Nope.
Again, next week we'll be on the road. Coach Frisky's going to take a timeout here. See if we can get something drummed up for 3rd and 9. But next week on the road, we'll be out at Arrowhead. Heartland Arrowhead, perennial powerhouse, and they look the part of the state polls got them number 1 coming off of. They beat that Nina team, who's another contender. Nina challenging themselves with Muskego and Arrowhead right out of the gate. But we'll have Arrowhead next week, and Arrowhead, another prolific offensive attack. Our Pirates are going to have to go to that tape and see what they can learn and pick up from this one. Come out there and put together maybe a little cleaner start. There were certainly some things that you can't control in the first quarter. The penalties and a couple of situations that just put them in a long down and distance, let this thing kind of snowball in a hurry. And you can't afford to get off to that kind of start against a team like Muskego or a team like Arrowhead. No. Because they are going to take advantage of every opportunity. So.
Absolutely. They will make you pay for those kind of mistakes. And, again, the mental aspect of the game is something that it's a team effort, but it's just one of those things that it's every individual, too. And so, we've got a week to prepare for a very similar opponent in terms of the balance of their offense it's powerful. Running, passing, they'll need to be ready.
All right, 3rd and 9 here. Doberstein in the shotgun, got Rhodes to the top of the screen. Doberstein's going to roll out and throw. And that one, off the hands. He had Petzold open. And that one just fell incomplete. Nice ball by Brooks. Put some zip on it, rolling out under a little bit of pressure, but just not able. Samaji not able to haul that one in. Going to get the punting unit on.
At the concession stand. All hot food is buy one get one free. Buy one get one free on hot food at the concession stand while it lasts.
Punt is out and away. Big hit out there, Brady Staver.
Nice
Week 1 hero. Was our guy Owen Hogg taking his shot out there at punting. So going to get a couple of different looks out there. Nice coverage out there by Staver to put that one to the to an end quickly.
Yeah, nice hit.
7.5 here left to go. Fast-moving second half with the running clock. This is just Muskego's second possession of the second half. This is Carter Bawes is the quarterback out there, just sophomore quarterback, getting his shot at it for the Warriors. First down handoff. Goes up the middle. That was Josh Formolo again, who had the touchdown on the last one. Big Bobby Edwards put that one to rest.
Second down.
Another guy trotting out there, big fan of Rex Malkowski out there at linebacker. Another multi-sport kid that can get downhill, make some things happen. Good to see him out there. Formolo will give that one a try and stopped quickly. John Gertis with a great play in the backfield.
John Gertis
bring up a 3rd and 6.
Third down.
John and Rex, two Pewaukee basketball players, too. I love the basketball players as well, Brock.
You love those basketball guys.
John is he's one of my favorite. You guys just tough as nails. He showed it on that one. This will be 3rd and 6 here. And they will keep it on the ground to the outside. But Samaji Petzold had that one sniffed out for a short gain of about 1. That was Logan Weber. But Samaji did a great job getting to the outside, and the Pirates put an end to that drive.
Nice play by Samaji, stringing that out and, executing that well. Again, and it's, 5:40 left in the fourth quarter here, Kurt. But for the guys on the field, this is really important time. This is important time. The coaches are watching carefully how guys are reacting, how they're playing, and just the experience of being out there. For some of these guys, These 5 minutes are golden. The game is fast. This is a fast team. It's a strong team, and they're soaking up every minute of it.
All right, some indication that they may go for this, but I think they are going to go ahead and punt it away. Colton Wall deep line drive kick out there. Ooh, dangerous one. That thing's skipping all over the place, and Colton makes a good decision to get the heck out of the way of that. That thing was ricocheting all over the place.
A lot of action on that ball.
Nice stop by Samaji on that one. Another tough play, tough kid. You know where that toughness comes from, Brock?
Victoria Station.
The mean streets of Victoria Station, Brock. I have had the pleasure of seeing that young man grow up.
Yeah.
In fact, I just, you know how if you're not a big social media guy, but you're on the social media.
Not as much, no.
They show you stuff that was like pictures from long, long ago. That's my favorite thing about that.
Yeah.
And there was one that popped up with my Luke and Samaji when they're like 5 or 6 years old playing lightsabers in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're out here on
That's the mean streets right there.
Friday Night Lights. So when I talk mean streets, I'm talking lightsabers in the backyard.
Absolutely. Lightsabers,
that's
pool parties, that kind of stuff. The mean streets.
All right. 4 minutes remaining here. Pirates will see what they can do with this possession. This is Omar to the outside. He's got a little bit of room. Omar's still on his feet. And before he's dragged down, nice pickup of 8 on first down. So Omar keeps things moving in the right direction.
Again, Charrington refuses to go down at first contact. And if you look at film, I'm going to say he probably averages 2 to 3 yards after first contact on the average. And, that's something that you just don't coach. That's just internal. So we'd love to see that.
All right, second and new quarterback out here. We got Brady Staver getting a chance as the quarterback here. Third quarterback here, rotating in for the Pirates. He's been at the command of the varsity reserve team, so getting Brady some reps at quarterback. Special team star week 1 with that huge punt block, but good to see Brady get a couple of cracks at it. They're going to continue to rotate. Doberstein back in there. He's got a couple of receivers, Sandvik and Reed Carey to the top of the screen. Brandon Duranko, a nice run up the middle. He'll pick up 5 on first down.
Sky Krieger with the tackle.
Keep things moving.
Pewaukee fans, the Pirates' next game is next Friday night when the Pirates play at Arrowhead.
Craig reminding everybody, get on out there, guys. Right down the street. No excuse to. Beautiful stadium out there at Arrowhead, and we're going to need all the Pirates support that we've seen out here to make sure that we give them everything we've got. Staver out of the shotgun gets it to Duranko. Duranko's got some room out past midfield, and Duranko dragged out of bounds at the Warrior 45-yard line. So Noah Thundercloud put a stop to him, but not before another Pirate first down. Give him a couple more yards than it looked from our vantage point, and I'll spot that all the way up at the no. I think I was right. They backed it up a little bit. It's going to be back at the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. It's the minute 15 left here. Second half. Doberstein shotgun. He'll give that one. It is Caleb Bartlemy with his first carry of the night. Another guy who is the really the bell cow on that varsity reserve team, just a sophomore guy. I expect to make some impact here over the course of the next couple seasons. Real hard runner and a kid who can make those inside runs and make something out of not a whole lot. This is Brady Staver back there. Give it back to Caleb Bartlemy on the ground. Caleb's got a nice gain. He's got the 30, and that is that's exactly what I was talking about.
Nice
for the Bart man. He
on the carry.
nice drive, and you talk about things he can get out of a situation like that. Those are confidence builders for a kid like Caleb on a tough night, and that's how we'll end it. So teams content to line this one up and call that a 48-7 final. Brock, that was a tough one.
Tough one, Kurt.
And it was, really when you look at it over in the first quarter, Muskego came out just unrelenting on the ground with that rushing attack, and a couple things went sideways, and the Pirates just not able to get that momentum. I will say this, talked about it at halftime. The second half, putting together that scoring drive and even finishing with that drive where you move the chains a few times, it at least gives you some momentum going into next week and a showdown with the Arrowhead Warhawks.
Absolutely. And, again, we can say it until we're blue in the face, but that's the reality. In a game like this, you have to talk to your team. That obviously happened about the mental aspect, about, positioning yourself to make some headway by the end of this game. And the Pirates came out after that rough first half, put together a great drive, largely error-free, and drove it down the field and scored. And you said too, Kurt, building confidence. And you have to take those small elements out of that for next game. So, yeah, lots to learn from in this game, lots of things to get better at, but also silver lining. Lots of our Pirates got on the field tonight, confidence builders, and got some minutes. So, we're going to turn around and get ready for next week.
Yeah, a couple other just thoughts on this one. You come out of it without it getting messy in the second half. And I give kudos to both teams. You see this in different games. We've certainly seen our share of football and basketball games end up lopsided. A class act for the most part from Muskego tonight. You'd expect nothing less than that from a perennial powerhouse. In our Pirates, the fight and how they played, down the stretch with young kids getting a shot, it gives you a little bit of that confidence that this team, they're not going to be fazed by this. They realized tonight, many people had it on paper as a David versus Goliath matchup. It turned out to be that way.
Yep.
But you can get a lot out of that if you continue to work hard, do what's asked of you as a coaching staff, and you pointed out, stick together as a team. Don't let this break you. You're 2-1. You still have a long season in front of you, and still have a potential playoff berth. You get into that tournament, and anything can happen. The final word I think we gotta have is just hats off to Muskego. They handled it. Came out here and put this thing to rest in the first half. You got to give all credit to Muskego in this one. And wish them the best of luck as they continue their Classic 8 season. They will be at against Waukesha West next week. Our Pirates will travel to Arrowhead. Get on out there. And support them. And we will we'll be back on with you in we got a little bit of a break here. We'll be back here in 3 weeks. The Mukwonago Indians will be in town. Pirates go on the road for 2. They'll be out at Arrowhead and then out at Waukesha West. Where, fun fact, Brock, those are the 2 longest road trips of the year.
They are.
Which is really strange. We go on the road to Waukesha West, Arrowhead, and Oconomowoc, which I think are the 3 closest high schools you could possibly ask for. So no excuses. Get out there, support the Pirates.
That's right. Get out.
For this next one. We're going to need you, everybody. Thank you, Brock, for joining me. It's not always easy on a night like tonight.
Thanks for having me again, Kurt. Love to be here.
You make it easy, my friend, and appreciate you holding it down with us on a night like tonight. And then one more time, because I know they're still out there supporting things, Stenny's. Thank you again to our crew at Stenny's. The night is young at Stenny's. If you're leaving, if you're picking this up, if you just jumped in your car, get on over to Stenny's. Get yourself a burger, a snack wrap, a fish fry, a cold one, whatever it is. Get on over to Stenny's, and thank you for your support of tonight's Pirate Friday Night Fiesta post-game meal. That's all she wrote, Brock. Good night, everybody.
Adios, folks. Thanks for tuning in.